Welcome to another edition of Muck Spreading! Ooh, hello! Oh dear, I'm in one of those moods. Right, I am on with the muck. While I'm talking to you, I'm just getting my loader level. You might have seen the video the other day of me and Hazza. CGI Harry was doing a bit of spreading there. Not the real thing, obviously. I'm on it now. I've moved on from that field that me and Hazza are in. I'm on this second field. Look, I'll just show you. We'll jump out in a minute and have a look at the plop. Top of the plops. So I'm just loading up into the spreader there. Look. Someone else has complained. There's always the comments. The comments are always funny on these videos. So let me tell you something about this spreader, right? So as you know, we bought this spreader a long time ago, probably 5 years ago, just before lockdown actually, and there was a picture of me somewhere of inside it when it was clean and lovely. It's now in a right state. Look at it. We'll jump out in a minute. Once I've loaded this up, we'll jump out and then we'll have a look at stuff. Now, the problem is with it. Do you know what? I keep getting the angle of this bucket wrong and taking out a load of soil. Let's try not to do that. It's really hard to judge the angle of that bucket. There was a guide thing on it, but that's broken. And it's also very sticky here. The ground's still very soft. I'm really conscious I might get actually stuck in it. Look, I didn't have the angle right on that. You can get it too wrong and you take out a load of soil with you. Like I've just done there. Right, yeah, so the muck spreader. Let me tell you about the muck spreader. So, we had that muck spreader brand new from Marshall 5 years ago, I think, 4 or 5 years ago. Unfortunately, about the first year we used it, I don't know, for whatever reason, something happened to the lid. I think we must have bashed it with a loader or something, and it buggered up the ram. So I can't get the lid to open now because, well, partly because it's twisted, but also, let's not name anyone, but someone came in to try and sort out the hinges on it because we thought maybe the lid's bent. The lid is bent. We take the hinges off it, and they never came back and finished the job. So some of the hinges are missing on it, which isn't the end of the world. I mean, if you notice, I'm quite capable of loading it without taking the lid up, because basically I've done this job for so long. Oh Christ, I've just taken some more dirt out. I'm stuck now. Am I stuck? No. Yeah, I've been loading muck spreaders for 30, 40 years. Crikey, it's going on a long time, isn't it? So the thing is, I'm quite used to loading it without opening the lid up, but it is a bit annoying. And it's one of those jobs where you need to fix it sometime, but I never get round to it. Let's face it, as soon as I finish this job, I'm on something else. I think I spoke to Harry. We are going to pressure wash that off, so we might have a chance to look at it then. Oh look, I got a load of soil in there. Oh, flipping it. It's because there's not big dollops to drive in. There's like little thin lumps. Well, one more load and then we'll get out and have a look. God, it's hot. I'm really hot today. Oh, that's a good load. Look. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's juicy stuff as well. That is proper juicy. It's proper muck, that is. I'm sure they can smell me in Scotland. I love the smell. This is country boys for you. I love the smell of the cow muck. Not just our own, but when I smell like someone out muck spreading, I think, whoa, it's really ripe stuff. I really like it. That's really weird, isn't it? It's a proper country smell, and it makes me laugh because you get some, let's call them townies, shall we? Let's name them townies, they don't like the smell of it, do they? But do you know what? You're going to go hungry. If you can't smell cow muck, what are you using instead? You're using oil, aren't you? You're using oil-based fertilisers. So you've got to be thankful that people are using manure on the farm, because that is actually probably more sustainable than non-organic crops that are grown with artificial fertilisers. And I'm sure the vegans don't think these things through when they think get rid of all livestock, because unfortunately, if you're getting rid of all your livestock, where are you going to get your fertiliser from? You're going to be getting it out of the ground, aren't you? Or you're going to be doing it gas-based or oil-based, I think it is, when they produce fertiliser. Right, let me just tidy this up, and then we'll have a quick look at what's going on out there. Ooh, it's a bit mucky here. It's still, the ground's still quite soft, and I'm rutting it up a bit, but hey ho. All right, crack on. Oh, right. Let's just stop here. Let's get out. I just pushed this up here. Push this up along. So yeah, so it was a bit splattered out there. So this muck's been sat here most of the winter, look, rotting down. But unfortunately, with all the rain we've had, and it's just soaked through, and it's just with that moisture from that as well, it's made the ground very soft under it. It's still pretty soft in this field, really. So I've rutted it up. What I'll do is, when I finish, I'll level this out with a loader, I think. But you can see this is nice, juicy stuff. Oh, I'm sinking, look. I'm bloody sinking. That's how soft it is. Look, you can actually see in it. Let's just have a look. You can see bits of maize come through the cow's digestive system. There, look. Look at that. But, and the crows have been pecking all over it. That's why it's got like a bit of a lunar landscape. I think the crows have been pecking over it, trying to get any worms or bits of maize and stuff. Right, let's get by here. Oh, you can see the ruts, like I said. So soft, the ground. Chucked it down with rain again last night. I don't know, I'm flipping fed up with this weather. It's not been much of a spring, has it? I mean, do you know what? I nearly lit the fire last night. It was so cold. My wife said, oh, I'm going to light the fire. I said, well, it's 8:30 at night now. It's not worth it, really. By the time we light the logs and everything, time for me to go to bed. But, right, so yeah, back on the Marshall. Look, it needs a good clean. The logo's good. Hi, Harry wrote that. But the hinges are snapped. It's bent, I think it's bent in the middle. Look, there's one missing there. There's a hinge missing there and there, which were cut off. And the bolts have gone out of here. And it needs pushing down. There's only 2 bolts holding the lid on at the moment at the end. So we need to do that, sort that out. But the lid's bent, and I think it all started with that hinge not working on the hydraulics. So I'm just pushing it in there. But also I need to shorten the chains. The chains, oh, it's just always the way on muck spreaders. The chain links, after a while, they stretch, and then it's a fine tolerance. When you first get it new, there's not much of a gap between the edge of the muck spreader and the flail head, and then over time the links stretch. The chain links from the rotor to the end of the chain, they stretch a bit, or they wear, and then there's a bit more slack there, and that tolerance is lost, and then it starts skimming the edge of the muck spreader, which is what it's doing on there now. And so you'll hear it. We'll have a look in a minute. I'm going to drive up and chuck this on. When it's all right when the thing's full up, but when it actually gets to near the end of muck spreading, it starts making a hell of a clanking noise. I've shortened a couple in the middle already, because I think they were catching, you know, where I showed you where the lid's a bit bent, they were actually catching the edge of that, and I've shortened it and they're fine. But there's all the way along now, they've all stretched a little bit, and you'll see in a minute, I'll show you when it's empty, where they've rubbed the paint off on the back. But the reason I haven't rushed to do it is it's just a crap job, you know, literally a crap job. You've got to climb inside the muck spreader and you've got to undo each link and then you just shorten it by one link. That's what I'm going to have to do. So what I need to do, and this is the wrong stuff, okay, because I've done it loads of times before. This stuff's really sloppy, so when I finish, the muck spreader will be coated in slurry, which is horrible. What you need to do is chuck in a load of kind of like fairly fresh manure, which has got mostly straw in it, before it's rotted down. Take a load of that out somewhere, and just the action of that rotating round will probably get off most of the muck, and what's left inside is actually kind of fairly less toxic, if you like, than the muck that's in there now. And I don't mind climbing in. Got a hell of a weight on the back of here. This poor old tractor is a bit underpowered for this thing. Right. So, muck spreading, muck spreading. There's a song about that, isn't there? I think it's on Tractor Ted. Muck spreading, muck spreading. We're all going muck spreading. Look at that. Pure joy of poo. The joy of poo. Whoa, that's proper stinky, that is. Can you smell it? Are you watching this in smell-o-vision? Right, let's crack on, we're off spreading, let's go. Of course, it takes a while for the rotor to get going. This stuff spreads quite well, but when you put on anything with quite high straw content, the rotor struggles a bit. Those rear discharge muck spreaders, the big ones you see, I think they're probably a little bit more efficient, really. I've only got 2 small fields of maize and I don't have that much manure to spread, so this works well for me. But on a big farm, you're not going to consider a spreader like this, really. But they're very good spreaders. The side discharge rotary spreader is a good bit of kit. And I like the Marshall, it's well made. So they're running, that's going to run on for a little bit. Look, you can see it on the mirror there. Look. I've actually cleared the windscreen. Look, there we go. Top of the plops. get nearer the end. This is where you need two people filming. One filming from the outside while you're doing this, and one filming on the inside. I got the best view probably from the mirror actually. You can just, oh, it's focusing on the glass. You can see it though, can't you? I can't get the door open. Oh well. Take my word for it, it's coming out faster now. Oh, that's better. Look at that. Here's the proper job. I'm just looking over there, look, there's a wild crab apple in the hedgerow there. Beautiful. Might have a look at that in a minute. I think we're nearly empty now. It's just, oh, can you hear that clatter? That's empty. Right, let's drive on back. What we'll do, oh, no point in me getting out of here. We'll drive on back and we'll have a look at those chains in a minute. Me and Harry greased this the other day. I didn't video that, but because to be honest, cameras and grease guns don't really mix. You end up with grease everywhere. But me and Harry greased this the other day. And do you know what? You forget. You see, the trouble is, you do all this stuff. I've done this all my life. You forget that everything I teach Harry or show Harry is his first time. So we went out to grease it, and I forgot he'd never greased anything before. So he didn't know how to put the grease gun on the grease nipple. And if you've seen our grease gun, it's got a little catch thing you have to squeeze in, then you push it on, then you let go, and then you take your hand off. And it's really good because it means you haven't got to actually hold the end on the grease gun onto the nipple while you're pumping grease in. But I did think when I was doing it, I thought, you know, these are the little lad and dad things that are really important. Just little trivial stuff that you show your kids. Not just lad and dad, lad and daughter or whatever, if you like. Let's not get into a gender war here. You know, and loads of dads up and down the country hopefully do jobs like that. You know, if you get your kids, if they're interested, get to a teenage point they don't want to know, but when you get them young enough and they're interested, it's a great thing to do. If you can go out and do stuff like that together, it's a lovely thing. I'm very lucky that Harry is interested. I've mentioned it before. I'm very lucky to have a son that is interested, because Jack's not interested really. He's more interested in the academic things, what he's doing, like sport and everything, which again I've said, don't diss him for that, because everyone's different, aren't they? Not everyone's got the same interest, and thank God we're not all the same. Otherwise, what a boring world it would be. Isn't that right? You know. Oh, and he's also, I forgot to mention, Jack has actually been accepted for a place at Hartbury Ag College, but he's not doing ag there. He's doing a BTEC in, I think it's PE. I'd have to look that up. So instead of going to sixth form, hopefully he's going to Hartbury College if he gets the grades right, and he'll be doing PE. Forgot the name of the thing, sorry, but he'll be doing that, and I'm quite proud of him to just get off his ass and sort that out. So it's really good. So hopefully in September he will be starting 40 years to the month I started YTS based at Hartbury College, and 40 years in September I went to Hartbury and did an induction course there for my YTS scheme, youth training scheme on agriculture, and Jack is starting there at the same time. Isn't that amazing? Right, let me just show you this. So you can actually see now what I mean about the rotors. So these two have been shortened there in the middle. Can you see? And they're not catching the muck. And if you look, you can just see, if you look on that one, you can see the link. I've folded it in, and there's a loose link there, just there. But you can see the ones that are catch. Ooh, oh, just got that on my hand. Oh, be nice on my sandwiches later, wouldn't it? You can just see where they're rubbing on the end there, and I think that might be a little bit bowed in where the loader might have banged it. But you can also see right at the bottom. Look, can you see down there? Right at the bottom, they're grazing the. Look, can you see the paint's off there? Look, it's all coming off. So that, and it's rubbing the steel. which isn't good. I'm basically eroding my muck spreader. So that should be all red, and you can see the red in places over there. Look, but over there, it's definitely not red, is it? So I've got to basically go along here and shorten the links all the way along here. That is a crappy job, and like I said, we're gonna have to make sure this is cleaned out or jet wash it all off. I'm not sure. And also, look at all the string that's caught around the rotor. Can you see that? Look, flipping string. Now, I know if you work on a farm, you know, it's always a pain in the bum if you got string in the muck and you think to yourself, maybe you drop some string and you think, do you know what? Oh, I can't be bothered to pick that up. You know, it's in the bedding, oh, I can't leave it. But do you know what? If you don't pick it up, it ends up in places like that. And that is a right pain, because I'm going to have to go in there, as well as doing the rotors, I'm going to have to go in there and cut all those pieces of string off. So happy days. Right, let's get going. Whoa, I'm getting through this. It does smell ripe. I love it. I blooming love the smell of this stuff. Oh dear. Do you know what? There's a gap in the market, isn't there? Do you reckon, you know, you get car air fresheners and people put them in their cars for to make them smell nice, and they put on the kind of like, I don't know, pine fragrance or something like that. Why hasn't anyone done a cow slurry or cow muck air freshener? You can sell it to all the farmers who want to feel at home when they're on a long drive, you know? Hey, there's the marketing opportunity. Smell like a farmer. Air fresheners with extra funk. Anyway, right, get this load out. I'm not going to fill any more loading up. We'll have a look at the end, or near the end, when I've done about another 5 loads, I reckon. Ooh. You can see down there that I've cleared half of it, but It's very rutty, it's very soft. And same here, look, I'm gonna have to level that out later. Like I said, I can't believe how soft the ground is. That rain we had last night, that really made a difference. And when I was putting that load on with Harry, the ground was really nice and firm. It's come soft again. Because we've really, you know, we're still in early spring. The ground hasn't really dried out yet. And with the amount of rain we've had in the last 5 months, the moisture in the soil is still there. So it only needs a top up and it just turns it into mush. The other day when the cows were grazing, it rained quite heavily. They made a right mess on the grazing. Luckily it's only in one little field, we can pull them out of there and it'll recover. But they trampled all over the grass. It just didn't look good really. I was a bit annoyed, you know. I was just thinking, oh come on, you know, because it takes longer to recover once they've trashed it like that. But they were running down to the grazing and they just bloody beat it up. Right, anyway, let's get going. We'll have a look at the end. And boom, I'm back. I'm back, baby, with the pile of muck gone. Gone to the, back to the land. Perfect recycling with cows, isn't it? Grass goes in, comes out the other end, goes back on the land, makes the grass grow. Or in this case, maize. It's a perfect recycling unit. Anyway, look, there it is. There's the mucky, well, I've just leveled it. I forgot to set the video camera up for that bit, but I've leveled it with the loader bucket, just smoothed it over. It is a bit rutty out here, but not too bad. So that's going to be ploughed up. I don't know when exactly. You can see that up there. It's all a bit green, but that'll plough in nicely now. So anyway, I think I've just got that in the nick of time because the weather forecast is appalling for later. I think it's heavy rain coming in about 6 o'clock. So if I did that then, it would make a real mess, but I think I'll be all right now. So anyway, keep watching. Got a lot of work to do yet. Anyway, crack on. Spring's here, yes! Crack on.